Welcome to the Industry Insider, brought to you by PromoCorner. Each week, promotional product professionals Meg Erber, Jeff Franklin, and Stephen McFadden, along with special guests, will discuss industry news, trends, and events with a focus on educating the promotional products industry. The Industry Insider, the nerdy news you need to know.
Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA. I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But of course, before we get to them, we got to tell you about our fine sponsors, Greater Pacific. They are your full-service creative agency. Their experience comes from experience of thousands of custom projects completed for clients for over 2 decades, with expertise in promotional products in the advertising specialties industry, custom OEM product design, project management, CPSAA compliance, product testing, and full service logistics. They've done it all and become more effective with every opportunity. Greater Pacific creates the ultimate manufacturing experience for their clients. So go visit greaterpacific.com today. Tell them the Industry Insider sent you. Why don't we say hey to Meg Erber. Meg, how are you doing?
Oh man, I have so much going on right now. It's going crazy. So thank you for letting me go first. I just wanted to do a couple quick shout outs. Number one, the Water for Good, PromoCare's Water for Good Zoom catalog launched yesterday. It's hot off the press. It's ready to go. I would love everyone to just take a look at it. Jessica Gibbons-Rouse, she helped us over at Zoom put it together. They did a phenomenal job. Secondly, as you can see, I am wearing my PPF Live Concert Series t-shirt, and that is because tomorrow kicks off the 3rd session of the Live Concert Series, and I got this just in time. I think I got this yesterday. Little record from Record Remix, so that was really cool. But you can join us tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, and we have some really cool performers. There's a comedy show as well. We have might have some magic, I don't know, but stay tuned.
So I see you and Steven both have the thing from Record Remix. What is this for?
So this went out to all of the donors from the last one, and basically it's like a miniature record. Which camera? Like 20 cameras here with the logo on it, and it comes with a whole record label case, so it's almost like an actual record. You have the set list, and then a little thing about PPEF. So, and that is tomorrow. Again, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Nick is the host, and we got some great performers tomorrow.
Yep, and that link for that is actually down below, scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And just had the viewer.zoomcatalog.com/water for good link up as well. So definitely go check both of those out. Stephen McFadden, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing great.
Okay, that's it. All right, short and sweet. Sounds good.
Well, I wanted to leave enough time. Meg had a lot of announcements, and I don't want to, no, I'm just messing with you. No, everything's good. I've settled in, back from the promocations, of course. So that was a blast.
Yeah,
so I think definitely you look like you came from the Caribbean because you're all like bundled up now. Like the weather's just too cold for you.
Yeah, it's it's a low of 60, right? So it's like I had to get a parka on. Yeah, no, it was like 40 degrees this morning. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back.
It's insane. May 3rd, and we're in the 40s.
It's chilly for sure.
Crazy. And we are joined today by a very special guest, Sean Knecht with Pridebites. And we've got a very cool episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about our furry friends, our furry coworkers, if you will. And no, we're not talking about Stephen McFadden. But Sean, before we launch into the topic for today, it is customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minutes to sort of introduce yourself, maybe tell us how you got started in the promotional products industry and what you've been up to since. So take it away, man.
Yeah, my story might be a little bit longer than 3 minutes, but I'll try to keep it at 3 minutes. So my background is not in the promotional product industry. It's actually in sports management. That's what I went to school for. And then after school, my best friend and I decided we wanted to start a company that turned college logos into dog toys. We're doing none of that right now, but as an entrepreneur, you kind of wiggle your way through the where the market's telling you, and we then came out with a customizable pet product line for the individual consumer. And while we were doing that, we got on Shark Tank, which was an amazing experience, once in a lifetime. That's a whole separate story. And then we kind of, while we were building the e-commerce brand, also built the B2B brand, our wholesale brand. And as through the few years that they were both growing, wholesale actually outgrew e-commerce. Even with Shark Tank, even with the digital age that we live in, wholesale outgrew e-commerce. So a couple years ago, we had to make the decision to drop e-commerce and focus 100% on wholesale. And when we did that is kind of when I accidentally discovered the promotional product industry. I was working with, I kept on seeing on TV the Subaru cars, all their commercials have dogs in them. I was like, I got to get a hold of Subaru. They're a perfect customer. So I'm calling, and I'm getting nowhere because I'm trying to call corporate. And randomly, someone at Staples Promotional Products who represents Subaru calls me up, wants to do work together. And I'm like, wait, who are you with? What industry do you work in? Like, why am I not talking to Subaru themselves? And that's actually how I learned the promo industry. Then I kind of took a deep dive into reading about it, learning about it, networking, and fast forward, I don't know, 7-8 years. Here we are.
Wow.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah. So Pridebites as a business now is we help businesses and brands engage and expand into the pet industry via customizable pet products.
You know, it's interesting. Your story is very similar to other guests we've had that have been on Shark Tank, where they had to make that same choice. And it's interesting that wholesale ends up being the one that dropped in all of the stories that we've heard. Or excuse me, the retail gets dropped, and wholesale seems to be the way to go. Almost, you know, because you have 35,000 salespeople now, right? So it's a much more attractive a direction to go, and there's so much opportunity in it.
Yeah, you know, as when we were, I started this 10 years ago when I had no gray in my beard. We, you know, as a young entrepreneur, the internet was the thing. I guess it still is, but you know, and everyone wanted, you know, a .com business, and so myself included. And it took us a lot of hard conversations with mentors and thought leaders, and be like, hey, like and financial analysts being like, look at your books, like let the numbers speak for you, not your heart. The number is saying you're losing money on e-commerce, you're making a lot of money on wholesale. What do you think you should do?
What else do you need, right?
Exactly. So that's kind of how we made the switch. I remember it was kind of like a early mid-December, and we were like, we're just going to rebrand starting in January, and that's going to be it. And we just haven't looked back since.
So after you, I guess, found out about the industry accidentally, like, did you kind of know about the industry beforehand, or like somehow, like, or did it just kind of come together?
The only thing I knew about the promo industry was when you go to a baseball game and you're the first 30,000 fans, the promotional item is blank. And that was literally the only thing I kind of knew. And to be honest, I'm still learning it. There's no,
we all are.
There's no set handbook that you just read and then you know it. Yeah. Like you guys just discovered me. I just discovered you guys, you know, a couple months ago, and we've been around for years. And also there's so much turnover in and out. So, the most important thing for me is networking within the industry and customer service. I know because I'm working through you, I need to be on point. I need to be reactive. I need to respond right away because you're dealing with a customer who needs things right away. And if I give you the answer right away, it's going to look good on your part for your customer. And then you're going to want to work with me. And then your customer is going to want to work with me.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get that. It's like going to a trade show and then not doing the follow-up. It's like almost common sense, but a lot of people don't get it.
Well, even more so, going to the trade show and just sitting in your booth doing nothing. You should see me at a trade show. I am a spectacle at a trade show. I am bringing people in. If they're passing me by, no one can pass by me without me talking to them. They might say no, they might ignore me, but I'm still going to talk to them.
Yeah, 100%.
There was one time at a trade show, at a pet trade show, pet specific, that me and my business partner were obnoxious at these shows. Like I said, we were throwing our toys across the hall, and I launched one, and it actually hit my booth neighbor's coffee, knocked it all over his booth. And then he had white carpet all over his white carpet. So I go, wait a sec, because I remember I searched through the aisles, and there was a pet vacuum or a pet carpet cleaner booth.
Steam cleaner somewhere.
I go, wait 1 second. I run to his booth. I go, do you want to do a live demo right now? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. I go, bring your supplies. I got a wet carpet of coffee on it. So we do that's just who I am. That's what I kind of love to do, and that's how how I've grown within the industry.
I love that.
Get the coffee out.
I was going to say, I have fingers crossed that got the coffee out.
I don't remember, but I want to say he didn't. So it was all around very bad. My booth neighbor hated me for the next 2 days. It was yeah.
Well,
Next time you do that, you got to do that on the last day of the trade show.
Yes.
That way,
right. Well, it wasn't. I wish it was on purpose, but yeah.
Yeah, coffee on a white carpet definitely would not be good.
Who has a white carpet?
Who picked a white carpet? Exactly. Who picked a white carpet at a trade show? Especially a pet specific trade show.
It was bright white. It was bright
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, I hope that you bring that energy and you exhibit at Promotions East this year in October. Another self-serving ad.
Send me the info, because trade shows are now at the forefront of kind of what we want to do.
Awesome.
We kind of took a few years off with COVID.
Right.
Sure.
As I'm sure a lot of people did, but we were a little bit more cautious because we are just, it is what it is. So, but we're ready to. We just got a brand new booth. We're exhibiting at the Craft Brewers Association show next week, and we're back on the trade show circuit.
So, Sean, you mentioned
familiar with the regional associations in our industry?
One more time, sorry.
The regional associations. Are you familiar with the regional associations in the industry?
I'm not. I'm only familiar with PPAI, SAGE, and ASI.
Well, we have an episode for you.
Yeah, I'll have to send you some information too then, because if you're interested in trade shows, you get a huge bang for your buck with those regional trade shows. It's very cost effective, and it's a smaller, sort of more personable experience with the attendees. So
right.
Definitely worth 100%. Looking into there.
Yeah.
All right. Steven?
Hey, Sean, you mentioned the C word of COVID. So how was your business during the last few years? Because I imagine pet stuff might have been good, but I'm guessing. I don't know.
It's a sensitive subject, obviously bringing up COVID and my business and other people's businesses, because a lot of people's businesses went under or had very bad years and they let people go. We actually grew. We actually hired people during COVID. We had our best 2 years in COVID. So I don't like flaunting that because it's a sensitive time, but yeah, it was a great time for us. People were adopting dogs. Brands were wanting to promote to those pet parents. And I want to make one thing clear: it's not pet owner, it's pet parents.
That's for sure.
That's an industry lingo that we are trying to change among society.
Well, it's I don't think there's any there should be any guilt or shame about doing well. There's industries like puzzles and obviously pets and PPE items. There was lots of good things, and even Jeff, you mentioned during that you guys were able to springboard a lot of what you did just because you offered different products like masks, which now have allowed you to keep or get new business because now they were you were a reliable resource for them over the past years. So I imagine like this gave you a lot of opportunities to springboard into post-COVID times now where they're like, you helped us with these cool projects. Now we have even more now that businesses are coming back. So I think that's great.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool. So I know part of the topic today was to talk about sort of office pets as well, and like bringing them
Yes.
in, and what are some of the advantages and disadvantages? Because everybody loves a good furry friend, but do they make good coworkers? Stephen, first of all, I know you've had your furry friend in there, your furry coworker before. Is the dog with you now?
It's right outside that door. Lupin is. So I will go get him.
Why is Lupin outside the door, Stephen?
Well, he was.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that
He
a
was
product of
sleeping.
the? Is that a product of his dad?
Come on.
Yeah, that's just bad puppy parenting right there.
I wish I was. I'm not home. If I was home, my dog. She's 14 now. She's been with me since 10 months old, and she's seen everything with Pridebites. So she's getting old. She didn't do much anymore, but regarding pets in the workplace, I think there's a fine line between knowing your dog and knowing yourself as a parent, and being respectful to your coworkers. If you have a dog like my dog, she doesn't do much. She's basically a mute dog at this point. She's a great office mate. But if you have a little dachshund that, sees squirrels and they bark nonstop, that might be a little bit of an issue. And you just have a lot of self-awareness, I think.
Well, oh my God, this is fat.
Oh, cutie. You have 2 of them.
I do, and a cat, but I don't know where she is. She ran away the other day and then came back.
We don't discriminate against cats. We do cat product as well.
Yeah, I even put her little thing back there. But yeah, this is Fat Ozzy, and he was only supposed to be 12 pounds. I can barely lift him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like it's the Lion King. Like,
Right.
And this is Lupin. He is now like 55 pounds.
Oh wow, like Ozzy.
That's right. Yeah, he'll probably be high 80s, 90s or so.
Oh, he's a puppy. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be big.
How's the paw size?
Oh my gosh,
that dog has huge paws. That one does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a big dog.
They're about that big around or so. He's
gonna be a big dog.
But he loves the office, and actually, it's pets in the office for us, especially when we've started doing meetings and things. People love dogs, so
I don't necessarily trust anyone that doesn't.
True.
I mean, if I talk to someone and they're like, yeah, I hate dogs, but this might work for us, I'm like, do you have a pulse?
That's right.
Or unless you're allergic.
Well,
originally when you said that, I kind of went to the people that have had like a traumatic experience with a dog attack or something like that when they were young. But that's the only experience that I could imagine where you wouldn't love a dog. Like
the only time that it ever gets difficult is when I go into a meeting and the distributors have dogs, and then I come home and then these 2 are like, "You're cheating on me."
Well, I actually have a funny story about dogs in the workplace and selling in person. One time I went to an office and they had dogs there, and I was pitching them the Pridebites dog toys, what we're known for. Won dog toy of the year from Pet Business Magazine, which is our industry's like Wall Street Journal, among other bloggers that gave us the award. But I was pitching my product and I was like, oh, there's a pretty dog, cute dog wants to play. I gave him the toy, and I'm talking, and I look down, and the dog is destroying the toy. Like it was like a big German Shepherd, like just ripping it like it was like a piece of fruit. I mean, it was like it was nothing, just shred. And he looks down, he goes, I don't think we're gonna be buying. So I walked out with my head held low, but that's just it's all part of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's also another reason how I developed some of my sales tactics is going through experiences like that, is you won't hear anyone in our company say chew toy. There's no such thing as, in my eyes, as a chew toy. It's a play toy. So if you play with your dog, fetch, tug of war, the toy's going to last. But if you give it to her or him and you go to the grocery store and come back and expect it to be in mint condition, who are you kidding?
Yeah.
So you have to learn that lingo from experience.
I love that, actually, because you're changing the way people are looking at the products that you're selling by changing the name. And I think that's what we do to try to elevate the industry. Instead of calling it like cheap tchotchkes and giveaways, branded merchandise is just other terms that we're using, and it adds value, a lot of value.
It's huge. Because also, when you hear promotional products, you think, oh, you just have to give them away, aka you're going to lose money, quote unquote, right? But if you do branded merchandise, you can sell it on your website for people who are aficionados of your brand that want to support you, not only for pet, but they want to buy a t-shirt or a hat or whatever. So you don't have to necessarily fully lose money on it, per se.
Right.
Marketing, you know what I mean?
Well, I imagine too, with a lot of people still working from home, right, that they're going to have their pets still in their office, so it's such a great category. And I actually think it was a category that's for a while has been pretty weak in our industry, with no animosity towards the items that are out there. It's just there wasn't a lot of variety, between the options of the waist bags, collars, leashes, bandanas. It's kind of limited. So I really do enjoy the more custom aspects of a lot of the items.
Yeah, not only custom, but quality. I think a lot of people, when they hear promo, they think cheap stuff. We are actually, like I mentioned earlier, we started as a consumer-facing brand. And as a consumer-facing brand, you have to have high-quality stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to, or you're never going to survive. So we just took that same product into the industry. And when people and don't get me wrong, I get a lot of people who say, "Oh, you're too expensive." That's okay. I'm not gearing towards your audience then. And like I'm okay turning down if someone wants something for 50 cents or $1, I'm okay turning them down. But because I know that when I give them the product, they're gonna look at it and touch it and feel it and be like, "Wow, this is quality stuff." And we have found a nice little niche in our industry where there are some pet suppliers out there, only one other that's pet focused, but other suppliers do pet tchotchke stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you want the 50 cents, $1 stuff, go to them. I'm perfectly okay. But if you want someone who has over 10 years of experience in the pet space alone, and you're talking to a brand that wants to target to pet parents, I know the pet parent. I know what they want. I have been one for 15 years. I've been in the industry for 10 years. So we've carved out a little niche, and we're now the go-to supplier for your custom pet products.
I love it. I love your energy. I think that I'm kind of upset that I didn't know about you when I was a distributor, so many years ago. But I think that you have a really cool niche. You have a great energy, and I think we just need to. I think everyone just needs to bring their pet to work. Their pet son and pet daughter.
Yeah. Well, I went to right before COVID. I did the PPAI show in Vegas, mm-hmm. and we brought a dog. We brought one of our dogs, and it was. The amount of because you're not allowed to bring dogs there. So much of attention came to our booth because of the dog alone. So if you want to just bring a dog wherever you go, and you're going to get attention. It's like babies and dogs. You're going to get the attention.
So if you're single, go to the park with your dog.
Right.
Go to the grocery store with your dog.
This is one of the Pridebites.
Which one? Oh, the station. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
And also one thing I want to just kind of bring up, just for anyone who's listening and whatnot, we offer free mock-ups. It's a thing that we like to really, really push and promote, especially to distributors and all the reps who are trying to get more business and gain more traction. We offer free mock-ups that are turnkey, where all you need to do is send me your logo. I'll do all the work, and then you just need to forward an email on. And it makes you look really good, and we do all the work, and then it kind of gets the conversation started with your customers, whether they're interested or not. It's a great conversation piece, and you'd be surprised how many people, when they see their stuff on products, especially pet products, where it's kind of unique, different. It's not your hat, it's not your t-shirt, your koozie, your standard stuff. It's different. And it's a kind of like the wow factor, the shock factor, where they see and they're like, I forgot the exact stat, but like 75% or something of people who see it on a mock-up will most likely order.
Yeah. And I will say, when we were talking about this episode for a couple of months, and Steven was like, "Oh my gosh, we have to call." Someone's called you Steve. We have to call Sean. So yeah, I think it was a great choice in bringing you on.
Thank you.
Would you? So Jeff and Steven, I'm going to ask you guys, with you guys having your pets in your office, what were some of the pros to doing that through COVID? Do you think that was like, it helped with stress and anxiety? Do you think it was better for your coworkers, Jeff?
Well, I mean, I work from home, so I mean, they don't really have a choice. I mean, I would like to kick them out, but as you can see, like my dogs think they're the president and CEO of the office,
Yeah.
so we kind of keep them gated. Otherwise, they'd be laying all over the couch and that sort of stuff. So we got to keep them out of the living room.
Right
now Lisa's laying on my office chair.
We had an office dog for a while, which is my parents' dog that was in here, still around, just retired, I think, at this point. We actually came up with a position, the CBO, the Chief Marketing Officer, I don't know if Lupin is quite yet replaced, but he has been in here since he was a puppy, and part of that was because we had to keep training him, and like we didn't want to just leave him at the house or board him, and so just having that ability to do that was awesome. But there is equal part distraction as it is beneficial now, but I do think that long term it's a nice distraction for people if they want it. So
yeah,
and I also think even non-COVID times for me, and I've been working from home before it was cool. When we first started Pridebites, and the way I utilized the dogs in the office is I didn't necessarily play with them while working. But I would go every hour and a half or so. I would go and walk around the block. That got me fresh air. That got the dog fresh air. Got the dog exercise. You got to clear your head. You're staring at screens all day. So it got you away from the screen. So I take probably 4 or 5 walks a day just during the work day with my dog. And it's like, it's like a 15-minute walk. It won't make or break any like time sensitive material. So, and it's so good for your mental health and the dog's health and everyone around. So, it's, if you can have a dog that can kind of just chill for a little bit and then you take it on a walk, that's the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's how I utilize.
Well, sorry. I was going to say, I agree. I had a little Yorkie poo, and he went with me everywhere. He was my little baby, and I lost him on Mother's Day a couple years ago, and it was the worst. So, but I everywhere.
I don't even thinking about losing my dog makes me cry. It just like my eyes. I can't even.
It's terrible. It's pretty terrible.
So hard.
Oh yeah, God. I know. So Jeff or Sean or Steven, you guys have any other tips for bringing dogs into the office that we could share today?
No, I mean, I could say that one of the cons of having the dog is just, if UPS or somebody like that comes and rings the doorbell, it's a nightmare for about 10 minutes thereafter. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty good having them.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just like kind of practice. Practice makes perfect with dogs. I mean, train them to be an office dog. And just like you train them to sit and stay and shake, you can train them to be a good office dog. And I think a lot of people don't take the time and the effort to do that. And then if they don't, I think there should be some boundaries. I'm a little harsher maybe, but I think if the dog is well trained and if not, but if it's if you work towards it, I think it's okay. And people see that you're making that effort. I think that's most important.
Sorry, I had to take a picture because Steven and his dog look exactly alike.
I'll take it.
They're both just sitting there all.
Isn't that a saying? Like you start to look like your pet or something?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, well, Sean, thank you so much for being our guest today. You were wonderful. We loved your energy. We loved everything you brought to the table, all your tips and tricks as well.
Thanks for having me, and I'm available anytime.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys.
Really appreciate having you on. And again, if you guys like this topic or this episode, it was brought to you by our good friends over at the Greater Pacific. And they are a direct manufacturer, custom OEM products selling to the promotional products industry with 27 plus years of experience, specializing in over 10 product categories. They can source and deliver most any product for you. Greater Pacific is full service sourcing product and managing every aspect of product production with staff on the ground in Asia and utilizing their time-tested 20-step project management protocol. No need to worry about quality control, product safety, CPSIA compliance, or the hundred of details related to custom manufacturing. Greater Pacific oversees every aspect for you. Their global logistics team and in-house custom brokers ensure timely, seamless delivery. This is how they provide the ultimate manufacturing experience, and they back this claim with a 30-day product guarantee on all orders. Head over to greaterpacific.com to learn more. Tell them the Industry Insider sent you. And until next time, guys, we will be seeing you. Steven, yeah?
Everyone posts their pictures of their pets in the office. I'd love to see like all their office setups or pets and all that.
I actually meant to say that earlier. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely do that. Post in the
Definitely
comments.
post a pic down in the comments. That'll be awesome to see. All right, guys. Until next time, take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of PromoCorner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit PromoCorner.com.